This is a Duckie Hat presentation. Be sure to click on the like and the subscribe buttons.
Pastor, sometimes politicians think they can treat their constituents like animals that they control, causing people to pay with their taxes for things that they do not want. In other words, the politicians bilk the taxpayer. A sort of taxation without representation.
Reminds me of a poem by Roald Dahl.
Oh, regardez, c'est le propre logicien Duckie Hat de Duckie Hat à l'écran.
Yes, Sapphire, I see Duckie Hat's very own Duckie Hat logician on screen. Let's see if he will quote a poem that is analogous to your comment on politicians.
The Pig by Roald Dahl. In England, once there lived a big and wonderfully clever pig. To everybody it was plain that Piggy had a massive brain. He worked out sums inside his head. There was no book he hadn't read. He knew what made an airplane fly. He knew how engines worked and why. He knew all this, but in the end, one question drove him round the bend. He simply couldn't puzzle out what life was really all about. What was the reason for his birth? Why was he placed upon this earth? His giant brain went round and round. Alas, no answer could be found. Till suddenly, one wondrous night, all in a flash he saw the light. He jumped up like a ballet dancer and yelled, "By gum, I've got the answer. They want my bacon slice by slice to sell at a tremendous price. They want my tender, juicy chops to put in all the butchers' shops. They want my pork to make a roast, and that's the part'll cost the most. They want my sausages in strings. They even want my chitterlings. The butcher's shop, the carving knife, that is the reason for my life. Such thoughts as these are not designed to give a pig great peace of mind." Next morning in comes Farmer Brown, a pail of pig swill in his hand, and Piggy with a mighty roar bashes the farmer to the floor. Now comes the rather grisly bit, so let's not make too much of it, except that you must understand that Piggy did eat Farmer Bland. He ate him up from head to toe, chewing the pieces nice and slow. It took an hour to reach the feet, because there was so much to eat. And when he finished, Pig, of course, felt absolutely no remorse.
Pastor, how did you see that poem analogous to what I stated about some politicians treating us like animals? That they are simply after our money by taxing us without representing us.
Sapphire, the pig came to the realization that the farmer was just out to get him. So he rose up and ate the farmer. We must also rise up when politicians no longer represent us. However, rather than doing what the pig did to the farmer, we must instead vote out the politician that no longer represents us. Also, to guarantee our voting rights, we must always protect our constitutional rights, especially our First and Second Amendments.
Pastor, is there a Bible verse you would like to quote?
Sapphire, yes, there is a verse. Reading from the King James Bible, Galatians 5:1. "Stand fast therefore in the liberty wherewith Christ hath made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage."
Pastor, thank you for the scripture reading. Now it's time for our viewers to watch the two videos coming up on the screen.